So Jim, why are you so angry about Ashley Banjo and Diversity performing this dance?
Well, I'm a racist, aren't I?
Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another video with your boy, Idhan. And today we're going to be talking about Ofcom received 10,000 complaints about Diversity's Black Lives Matter dance on Britain's Got Talent. Before we get into today's video, I'd just like to remind you to click the subscribe button if you haven't already, click the like button if you enjoyed the video, and click the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this one. But before we get into the video, I just want to give a massive shout out to everybody who supported me on Patreon. And if you want to join those people, go check in the description box below. So on Saturday the 5th of September, the former Britain's Got Talent winners, the dance group Diversity, performed a little dance routine in honour of Black Lives Matter and victims of police brutality. And this resulted in more angry racist people than Tommy Robinson's family reunion after being served a bad curry, fam. And due to that fact, 10,000 angry snowflake Brits complained to the TV regulator Ofcom. Because as we all know, nothing gets British people more angry than black people showing their faces on TV, fam. Just take a look at the reaction to the recent Argos advert featuring a black family. That had more complaints than an Argos advert featuring a family of aliens, bruv. A large portion of British people feel less attacked by seeing a family of aliens than they do by seeing a family of black people, bruv. So of course they're going to be vexed when they see black people talking about the racism they've had to endure in our society. Do you know why? Because it shines a light on the bigotry that they themselves are responsible for, fam. And speaking of bigotry, why don't we check out what the quote-unquote comedian Jim Davidson had to say on the matter? Check it out, yeah.
I've been reviewing stuff and on YouTube, and I saw a dance group called Diversity. Weren't they on Britain's Got Talent? All those people are just put together by Simon, aren't they? For whatever, dance groups. I mean, if you can you can dance, can't you, really?
So there you have Jim Davidson, a man with less talent than a used tampon, and a comedian who's about as funny as stage 4 cancer, trying to belittle Diversity by claiming they're just a manufactured group put together by Simon Cowell. But anyway, I'm really interested to hear the famously racist Jim Davidson give his completely unbiased views on Diversity's dance in support of anti-racism causes. Let's see what else this little carrot top's got to say.
And they ended up with a policeman's knee on the neck of a black man. I thought that was the most indulgent piece of stuff I've seen in ages. What was the point?
I don't know, maybe the fact that 50 to 60-year-old men in this country keep denying the fact that we've got a serious problem with racism, bruv. Despite the fact that they keep spouting racist nonsense themselves, bruv. People such as, I don't know, Jim Davidson.
And I saw it on the day that a black man was charged with murdering someone in Birmingham and injuring quite badly 7 other people. I hope that's charged for 7 attempted murders. I mean, or was he just clumsy? Did he miss?
Hey, Jim, mate, you want to keep that argument away from an open flame, bruv? I hear straw men are extremely flammable. Because basically, the fact that you're bringing up some completely unrelated incident to argue why a dance troupe shouldn't be able to perform their art on national TV pretty much shows that you're coming like Oscar Pistorius and you ain't got a leg to stand on, bruv.
You know, I don't know what you want.
Well, Jim, mate, they do say the early onset of dementia can leave you a bit confused about the world around you and that.
You want to be famous, don't you? You want to be all around the world. That's why you do it. You don't give a f*** about George.
So wait a second. Diversity, the world famous dance troupe that have sold out arenas across the globe and been famous for the last decade, are only doing this because they want to be famous. The group that are famous already are only doing this because they want to be famous.
Logic has left the chat.
Do you really think that dance with that man being knelt on really makes everyone say, oh God, we're all racist, we must defund the police or do something? What is it you want? Do you not think it fuels the bigots? It's made me angry.
And there you have Jim the Donut Davidson confirming that he's a bigot. Priceless! But anyway, I just want to ask Jim a quick question. So Jim, why are you so angry about Ashley Banjo and Diversity performing this dance?
Well, I'm a racist, aren't I?
Well, at least he's honest, innit? But anyway, that wasn't the only ridiculous media I saw surrounding this issue. I also managed to catch a little clip of Good Morning Britain where a couple of people were interviewed about this incident. So without further ado, let's take a look at it. Check it out, yeah.
What was so wrong about what it is that they wanted to do? Because surely on a platform like that, keeping this conversation relevant and getting all sorts of people to talk and debate about the issues is what everybody wants.
I think the issue with entertainers using platforms such as Britain's Got Talent for overtly political statements is that a lot of the time, a very one-dimensional, generic and simplistic view of these issues is presented by these entertainers, because a lot of the time they quite frankly don't know anything about politics, so therefore don't have an in-depth or nuanced view about what they're talking about.
Well, you're not judgmental in the slightest, are you, love? How can you assume that diversity have no knowledge of politics whatsoever? What is that based on, bruv? I'm sure you're a flipping professor of political sciences, aren't you, love? Flipping Noam Chomsky over here.
I think it's very irresponsible to push messages like these on impressionable young people and just impressionable fans in general.
It's irresponsible to push the message that black people should stop being murdered on impressionable young people. What the hell are you on about, bruv?
To be honest, I think it's quite disheartening that we're having this type of conversation now, especially with everything that's happened in America and in the UK. And if we look at it for what it is, essentially what people are saying is that black people and black lives and us expressing that our lives matter, basically, and we want equality, and we're basically expressing humanitarian issues, has now been compared to something which is political. So essentially what people are saying is my life mattering and other people's black lives mattering has now become a political issue, which for me is kind of absurd.
It's not just absurd, mate, it's downright offensive. Alright, mate, I know you're a figure of authority, but I just want to say to you, can you please stop murdering us? Because we're just human beings like you at the end of the day. Well, actually, it's quite offensive that you're putting political messages on TV. Ah! The world's gone mad, bruv.
If you look at all these major industries and all of these major platforms, the majority of them are run by majority white people. Even Britain's Got Talent in itself is headed by white people, it's commissioned by white people. It's broadcasted to an audience which is majority white people. So if you're looking at the audience and if you're looking at that majority where the problem lies, then of course you're going to want to put that message across to people in a way that it makes sense. And they know that millions of people are going to see this message. And for me, it's right that they only put this message out to the majority of people where the issue actually lies, and it's important for them to see it.
So basically what my man there is saying, Mike Boateng, the former Love Island contestant, he's saying that Britain's Got Talent is actually the perfect platform for a message like that, because the demographic of society which are watching that show are the exact people who need to hear the bloody message, bruv.
I just want to address a few of the points that Mike raised initially, and I think this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's presenting Black Lives Matter in this incredibly simplistic way, and even trying to suggest it's not political when it is, extremely political. It is a Marxist movement. The co-founders of Black Lives Matter in America referred to themselves as trained Marxists. UK Black Lives Matter refers to their supporters as comrades on their Twitter account. One of the UK's Black Lives Matter leaders, Sasha Johnson, tweeted that she'd like to make white men her slaves, and her account was suspended, and compared the police to the KKK. These are the kinds of people that want to abolish the family unit, and this is all on their website.
The organisers aren't here to comment on that, but you, of course, can have your views. But we're not going to get into debate about Black Lives Matter, if that's OK with you, just this moment.
All I want to say there is big up Kate Garraway, fam. How is this woman coming on TV saying people shouldn't go on TV spreading their political messages? And then in the very next breath, this woman saying, I'm going to tell you a political message about being anti-communist. Shut your chop-head mouth, bruv.
It was presenting things like police brutality in an incredibly simplistic way. Now, I think that what goes on in America is a separate argument because we live in the United Kingdom. And in the United Kingdom, the issues with police brutality and things like that aren't exactly comparable. And what a lot of people are doing here are trying to make that comparison.
Remember at the beginning when this woman said that people shouldn't go on TV talking about politics when they clearly have no political knowledge? Well, in regards to your last statement about America and Britain not being the same in terms of police brutality, you need to go and have a look at the figures, darling, because proportionately they're exactly the same, bruv. And in fact, in certain instances, the UK is a lot worse. You're talking out your fanny flaps, bruv.
But the problem with these entertainers presenting these issues, which are inherently political, in such a simplistic way, is it creates quite a toxic environment wherein people who disagree with this are personally attacked and painted out to be racist, which is what Diversity did.
You keep saying they're presenting their message in a very simplistic way. So what do you want them to do? Make a convoluted, complicated message that no one can understand? The whole point of entertainers delivering messages through their art is that it can reach the masses in a way that someone droning on about stats and figures can't. And as for entertainers staying out of politics, I guess we should just cancel Bob Marley. Let's cancel Tupac. Let's cancel Eminem. Why don't we cancel Coldplay as well? Why don't we cancel U2, Rage Against the Machine, Immortal Technique, Bob Dylan, Pharoah Monch, Tracy Chapman? We might as well just cancel the entire entertainment industry then, innit? What a donut, bro.
What I want people to understand is, as a people, we are tired We are just tired because it's a constant battle that we are having to face and a constant struggle that we are having to face every day, which is why I commend diversity on their performance, and I commend ITV, and I commend everybody and larger platforms like Sky Sports who actually actively go out of their way to kind of show that they want to promote Black Lives Mattering and equality, because for me, ultimately, that's the most important thing. And if we look at their performance, for what it is, it was beautiful for me to watch because they've identified that we live in a diverse culture, in a diverse society. Their name is diversity, so they wanted to represent their beliefs through their art. I don't think that Black Lives Mattering can be a political issue because it's a humanitarian issue if we look at it for what it is. So for me to say that their views and what they put out was political is almost a slap in the face to us as a people.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Mike, mate. You see, the point people need to understand here is entertainment has always been political. It's always contained messages that talk about the current issues of the time in which they were made. And if we're honest, the only reason 10,000 Brits are complaining about this is because this country has a serious problem with racism right now. Now, you might want to bury your head in the sand like some kind of racism-denying ostrich, but the fact of the matter is this country has serious issues. And every time I see stuff like this, I keep going back to what Boris Johnson said when Stormzy said Britain has a problem with racism. Boris Johnson said that Britain is categorically not a racist country. Well, I'm sorry, mate, but every time black people speak up these days, there seems to be a swathe of this country that complain about it, bro. So let's stop ignoring the issue here and admit we've got problems with racism. We all contain those issues, but we need to be honest with ourselves and come like Skibbity and deal with the matter. So yeah, I just want to thank everyone who's been watching today. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to click that subscribe button, smash the like button, and don't forget to turn notifications on by clicking that notification bell. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. And